we're a bit late here. I was looking at that clock there. I thought it was 10.
I tried fixing it. I gotta get a new clock. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, all good. So good morning and thanks for coming to my little seminar here. And thank you very much for participating in our upcoming Newaza. That's good to see so many happy faces crowd here. Last week we did something very similar, but I did a lot of talking last time. We talked about rules. Today I'd like to start. We're going to go backwards. We're going to start with some practical stuff.
Yeah, when you're up.
And then we'll go backwards to the talking. So the people that were here last time can sort of continue on from where we left off. And then the people that weren't here last week can still get information from not about points or that kind of thing. So actually, before we get started, can I get everybody to sit maybe in a green space over here? Kevin, actually, if you don't mind, I'll okay, so last week I talked a bit about, basically what we would call a protocol for starting your match. Okay, in judo there are certain expectations about how you enter the mat space when you start your Newaza. So in BJJ, it's very informal. Like you know when the referee calls you into the fighting space, you just kind of saunter in, right? You're like, maybe shake hands with the ref, fist bump, or shake hands with the guy, and then you just go, right? It's like
I don't have the knowledge.
And then you see people doing all kinds of versions of that.
So like
in judo, it's a little bit differently. Done a bit differently. Usually, so if this is the fighting space, okay, and then this will be the center of the fighting space over here. You're going to start over here. The judges' table is going to be sort of near the edge of the fighting space, and you're just going to hang out here until the referee calls you forward. Okay. When he gives you the signal, what you're going to do is you're just going to walk along the edge of the fighting surface here. You're going to come to the center. You're going to turn and face the mat, and then they're going to expect you to bow to the fighting surface. And what you're doing is you're bowing to basically to the judges and the referee. You're showing respect for the whole event. When you do this, okay, so it's important, remember to bow in. Then you're just going to walk in, and because this is a Newaza tournament, we fight starting from our knees. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just come to the edge of the center tatami here, and then we're going to take,
since you're stuck there anyway,
just like a stance, knees down on the mat. We're going to sit back on our heels, and we're going to bow again. This time we're just bowing to our opponent. And the way I do that is I just put my hands flat on the mat in front of my knees. I bow down, hold it for just a second, and then I come back up. As soon as I come back up, I come to one knee up position. This is my starting position for the match. And now I sit and I wait in this position until the referee says to start. Last time I gave some terminology because again the referees are going to signal in Japanese when to start and when to stop, this kind of thing. Does anybody who was here last time remember what the start signal is? Hajime, right? Marshall remembers from last time. He's familiar with that term from karate, right? Right. So in Japanese, the start signal is the word hajime. So Kevin and I are here in our one knee up position. The referee says hajime. Now I'm free to start. Now I have to stay on my knees. Okay, we talked about this last time. I have to basically engage my opponent from my knees here. I can't now stand up. Okay? We're going to have to attack each other. You know, you're free to go into a seated guard position or more of a combat base. Okay. You don't have to proceed in a high position. You can come in down low, right? And then you're going to start attacking the come back up, and then what happens after I bow? Right, okay, good, but we skipped one step here. After I bow to my partner, what happens before they signal to start? Yes, one knee up, right? Boom. Okay, this is my start position. Now we wait for hajime. Right. What do I do once I say hajime? You fight. That's right. What do I not want to do when they say hajime? Jayla. Stand up. Yeah, I don't want to stand up. I want to move forward, and I can start. I can fight from, like I said, one knee up here if I want. I can attack like this. Or, oh look, Kevin sat down. That's okay too. Make sense? All right. Okay, let's get 2 volunteers. Grayson and I don't know your name, but come on up. Delina. Okay, guys. Delina, why don't you stand over here? Okay. Now I'm going to pretend to be the referee, okay? I'm going to stand over here. What's that? No. I just want to see you guys go through the procedure here, okay? Stay on the red there, that's it. Just walk up to the edge there. Good. Good. Okay, come on in. Sometimes the referees will just do this, like as a little reminder. Once you bow, you can immediately enter the mat space. But sometimes you'll see the referees like, come on guys. Right? Okay, good. Now you're down on one knee. What happens next? So what did Grace do? There you go. Put your hands up and bow. Good. And you come up to one knee. How's your name? Good. Okay, good. All right, thanks, guys. Actually, this is a good opportunity to talk about what to do when the match is over. Okay, so I say hajime, you guys fight, we determine a winner. Okay, what you're going to do when the fight is over is the exact opposite of what you did when you came in. So, fight is over. Let's see if you guys can figure it out. What's the exact opposite of what you just did? Oh, no, wait a second. You missed a step. There you go. So, you come back to the center, right? And what do? Yes. Good. Now you just got to really think it. So stand all the way up. Good. Now you're going to want to walk backwards. Yep, backwards, facing each other. All the way to the edge. Good. Stop. Bow again. Good. And then you can just walk off. Good. All right, 2 more volunteers. One more. Boogie, sure. Sorry, I don't know all of your names. Lily, okay. And Renea, okay, so come on up, guys.
Finding it's helpful just to reflect and then try to keep an idea.
Excellent, good work, guys. Okay, so you guys fight.
And then I have like,
okay, now match is over. Good, you got a winner, and what happens next?
2 sessions in one night. I managed to land on the bottom, which I've done before, and it's kind of like one.
Excellent, good work. All right, 2 more volunteers. Girl up and come on up. Matthew, right?
But then
all right, Matthew.
The class you ran like a month ago when we were doing the triangle, like really closing in distance on some of that stuff, right? We were having like grabbing the opposite leg and yeah.
There you go. And what's my signal? Hajime! Good. Okay, guys, fight. And now match is over. There you go. Oh, yeah, don't forget to bow out as well. Otherwise the referees will be like, hey. So we'll do this again, but just so you know that the referees will get a little bit antsy if you forget to bow in and out, that kind of thing, because in judo, just the culture of the sport, it's very big on mutual respect for each other. Okay, so sportsmanship is important. One of the ways that we show that sportsmanship is, again, through mutual respect. And it's all about the bowing. It's not just your opponent here, it's also about the people that are helping to put on the tournament. So the judges, the referees, that kind of thing. So all the bowing is kind of important. All right, 2 more volunteers.
Whereas I would be
and
inclined to just like wait. Eventually, I'm just gonna be
it'll only, don't worry guys, it'll only take you 6 months.
Give up on life.
Mate. Good job. All right, back it up. Good. Good. So, guys, when you're doing your bows, just take your time. Don't be in a rush to bow, everybody. Honestly, it's not a big deal. In fact, you know what? I find the bowing is a great way to keep your mind relaxed and calm. Because, you know, when you're coming into like a tournament setting, we could be really like, whoa, you're like amped up, right? Your nerves are going stuff. You want to try to stay focused and relaxed. Force yourself to come in and get down on your knees and do a nice, deliberate, slow bow. It's a great way to keep your mind focused. Okay? So take your time. All right, stand up. Good, Marshall. Back it up. Go to your back. So again, respect. You don't want to turn your back on the judges or your opponent. Okay? And now, good. Anybody left? Oh, Jayla, come on up. And Toby, your turn. Oh, gotta wait over there in the corner there, Jayla, just for a second. Yeah, let's try that bow one more time. So nice and slow, go like this. So Toby, go like this. Sit back on your feet first. There you go. Then put your hands down. Good. And back up. Good. And now come to one knee. Excellent. Okay. Punch me. All right. Oh, hold up. Almost time. Okay, so fight is over. Bow. Back up. Good. Good. Bow. And you're done. Good job. All right. Does anybody have any questions? It's pretty simple, but it's important to get all the steps correct. Make sense? Any questions? All right. Good. So let's just talk quick. I mentioned a couple of referee signals already. Let's just go over them again together. See who knows or remembers what I talked about last time. Start. What does that mean? Somebody with Kayla. Yes, good. Stop. Mate, right. That's probably one of the more important ones that you want to have dialed in, because this is one that you're going to hear when you're fighting, possibly. Okay, so you're fighting, you're in the middle of, an intense experience, maybe you're really focused, and if the referee says, mate, he's going to say it loudly, and he's going to put his hand out like this, like he's telling you to stop. But you need to be able to, you might not be looking at the referee, right? Your face might be down in your opponent's face or whatever. So you gotta have one ear out for that word mate, because if it's time to stop, if the referee thinks it's time to stop, you need to stop. Otherwise they get quite agitated, right? They'll start shouting at you, like, mate, mate, right? And then you get all surprised. All right, so mate, important. word osaikomi mean?
Timer's on. No, isn't it?
Good. What is it? Timer for what though?
Pinning.
Yes. So hold down. The word osaikomi in Japanese means hold down. It's also a signal to start the hold down clock. Right? Okay, so let's talk about the hold down clock. How long does the timer run for? What is the important times that we have to remember?
10 or 20 seconds.
10 or 20 seconds, good. You guys have been studying, this sounds great. So, what's the importance of the 10-second mark in a hold down? Somebody other than Marshall. Somebody other than Grayson. Okay, so the 10-second mark, Marshall, you go ahead. They give you points at 10 seconds. How many points? 10. Right, good. Yeah, right. Okay, so what is 10 points? What do we call that in judo? There's a Japanese word for that. There's a Japanese word for the 10-point score in judo. It's called wazari. Okay? So if you pin somebody for 10 seconds in a Newaza match, they're actually going to stop. The ref will say mate. They're going to stop the fight, and they're going to award you 10 points for that hold down. Okay. So what that looks like? Can I get 2 volunteers? Girls, come on out here. One of you on your back, please. Yes. Just doesn't matter. Somebody lay on their back, please. Oh, there you go. Jayla, show us a hold down. Any hold down. Come on this side though, please, so everybody can see. Any hold down. Sure. Sure. Actually, this is actually more of a what we would call a etiquette, but this is still a hold down. Okay, so Jayla's got a hold down on there. Okay, keep your hands tight there, right? Okay, so she's got control of her opponent's head and shoulder, right? Her opponent's back and shoulders are on the mat. This is a hold down. So as a referee, I'm going to go osaikomi. The judges are going to start the countdown clock. Now you just got to hold that, okay? You're going to be trying to escape, right? Jayla? Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, so there you go. They're wrestling. Good. She's stripping. She's trying to. Oh. Okay, and mate. So, actually, pardon me, I wouldn't say mate in this situation. I would actually use a different word. I would say kata. So the fight can continue now, but the hold down clock is stopped. Why? Look at her back. Her back is no longer touching the mat. So she hasn't escaped Jayla's headlock here, okay? But she's no longer in a pinned position, right? Because yes, she has one shoulder on the mat, but her back is straight. Okay? So just stop there, guys. So when the hold down timer starts, you've got 10 seconds to just keep them with their back and shoulders on the ground. If they can get out and get off their back, the hold down timer stops. You're not going to get your points. But the timer or the match continues. Now let's say, can you just get her quick back in that hold down there? Now let's just say, okay, Jayla holds her down. She can't get off her back. And now 10 seconds goes by. Okay, now I am going to say, mate, wazari. Okay, what that means is stop. You just held the person down for 10 seconds, stop. And I'm giving you 10 points. Wazari. Now, because this is a Newaza tournament, you score that 10 points, you come back to your start positions, okay? I'm going to reset you. So, yeah, wherever you guys started from. You guys are going to restart from your knees, and you're going to wait for my signal to start again. I'm going to say kashime, and now you go again. Okay, good. All right, let's get you back on your back one more time. Okay, Jayla, yeah, another hold down. Just any old hold down, doesn't matter. got her opponent's shoulders and back pinned to the mat, I say, Osai Komi. Okay, now if Jayla can hold that for another 10 seconds, I'm going to say, Mate Ippon. Okay, because she just scored another 10 points. 10 plus 10 is how many? 20. And what do we call 20 points? Ippon. Right. So that's instant victory, right? All right, Mate, you guys stand up. Okay, for the practice, come to the edges and bow out of here, okay? All right, so actually before you bow out, okay, now because you won this match, Chayla, okay, I'm going to announce the winner. I'm going to lift my hand up to the winner's side here, okay? Now you guys can bow. And you're going to leave the mat area. Bow in, and away you go. Okay, does anybody have any questions with that? Does everybody sort of understand the principles of the scoring there? Okay with the hold down? Make sense? Okay, so in a normal judo contest where we're standing from our feet and we're fighting from our feet, okay, you know, boom, bang, you know, maybe I come through with a big throw and then I transition to Newaza, you know, so I knock my opponent over and then I take a hold down position. They're not going to stop the fight at 10 seconds. But again, this is a Newaza tournament, so the scoring is a little bit different. They will stop you after 10 seconds. If there is a score awarded at that time, they're going to reset you guys. That's the important part. Okay? All right. The only way to score 20 points in a Newaza tournament, like 20 points right off the bat, is submission, right? No, but you're not allowed to do submissions because you're competing as white belts. Right, in judo, well, in a judo tournament, you will be competing as a white belt because it's a different sport, right? You haven't earned any belts in judo. So, for example, some of you guys comment on the fact that I'm wearing a black belt when ordinarily I wear a white belt when I'm here, right? I haven't earned a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so I wear my white belt. But in judo, I wear a black belt because I've been doing that for long enough that somebody decided I've earned it, right? So same thing, when you guys come into the judo world, you're pretty much judo white belts, even though you know some of the skills that are involved, right? That's why you're able to compete. What's that? Yeah, that's right. It is a good thing. So just remember, no submissions, or else you will be disqualified. Okay, it'll be an immediate disqualification if the referee thinks you're trying to submit your opponent on the mat. What's that?
But will you still get disqualified even though you're not trying to submit?
It will be up to the referee. So if the referee thinks that you are purposely trying to submit somebody, then yes, you will be disqualified. So, but it should be pretty easy to avoid accidentally submitting somebody. In these contests, like think of it this way. I always like to think of it this way. It's like, are your submissions really so good that you can win all your fights by submission, like in a jiu-jitsu tournament? Probably not. Chances are you're going to be winning by points, right? That even if you have submission attempts, then chances are the submissions are not going to be what gets you a victory. It'll be points and accumulation of points because your opponent's defending. It's not that easy to get a submission against somebody that knows what they're doing, right? So it's okay to be focused on pins because a pin, if you can successfully pin somebody, it shows that you are able to control them. Even if you're not submitting them, you have full control, and that's what they're looking for. And it'll go for a minute. Make sense? Okay. Let's just talk again briefly about point scoring. Okay. Because there's other ways to score points in the tournament that are much it's much more in line with like a tournament. There are certain, you get technical points for transitioning positions, right? Just like any position. So all of the technical points are worth 2, and they're cumulative, right? So you get points for passing the guard, for example. Okay, so if you find yourself in a situation where your opponent lands on their back, but they have their feet up in a guard, like in a guard position, you got a feet on hips situation, maybe with a grip, but you're able to pass the guard, then that's 2 points. I'm just going to run over quickly here all the different, because it's not quite the same. There's no points for knee on belly, for example, in the judo contest. But you'll get 2 points for passing somebody's guard, escaping osaikomi. So if you are in a hold down and they actually signal for the clock to start, but you're able to escape before you get to that 10-second mark, you're going to get 2 points for that. Yeah, come on up.
So, when I noticed it,
Again, that will be counted as a hold down. So we'll talk about that in a second here, okay? So John has Kevin in an open guard, feet on hips thing, right? Then Kevin passes John's guard, boom, and takes a hold down situation. Actually, take side control so we can answer Isaac's question here. Okay, so he's got a variation of side control here, okay? Either way, that was fine. This one in judo, we call this munigatami, and but in this is side control. Now that he passes his guard, he gets 2 points for that. He takes the hold down position. There's no points necessarily for side control, but the timer is going to start now. The referee's going to signal right, because he's got a pin here. Now the timer is on. Now John escapes though. Boom, he gets his back off the mat. Oh, and he reguards. Okay, so John reguards. The timer never reached 10 seconds. Now John just scored 2 points for escaping. Okay, he's not getting any points for entering this closed guard position, but he got 2 points for escaping before the timer reached 10 seconds. Does that make sense? All right, so let's look at another position here.
even that, like I said,
2 points for back mount. Okay, what does back mount look like? John is flat on his stomach. Okay, this is a terrible position for John right now. If Kevin can take this position and hold it for a couple of seconds, he'll score 2 points for mounting John's back. Back control. Okay, so back control happens when John takes his back. Actually, sit up please, in that position. So 2 points for taking this position on John. One important detail here, though, is the rules do specify that in order for it to be considered back control, John's shoulders have to be higher than Kevin's knees. If John slouches down, if John slouches down far enough that Kevin's knees are up, like above his shoulder, you can see that this was pretty awkward for Kevin. This does not count as back control, okay? So if John scooches down even more, okay, this is no longer back control. Even though he's got a grip on the collar there, and his legs are sort of around John's shoulders, he does not have real control of the back. So John's shoulders have to be higher than Kevin's knees for the referee to award the 2 points there. In front? Yeah, the hooks, I don't think it matters for the scoring if you're crossing them, but as a general principle, you don't want to be crossing your feet in front of your opponent when you have your hooks in like that. So you just want to, you guys know that, you just want to have your hooks inside of your opponent's body there like that, right? Yeah, again, see allowed to do as a white belt or in the age division under U16. So the referee can only attempt to submit your opponent if you come across the neck. Yeah. So if you're going to, guys, if you're going to try to take control of somebody's head, make sure you also have control of a shoulder at the same time. One arm, you know, between, like, one arm and the neck. Exactly. One arm and the neck have to be together in the grip. Make sense? You guys okay? Okay. 2 points for a sweep. Any sweep. So a sweep, guys. How do we? Yeah. Okay. So Kevin stands up. So guys.
Isaac, pay attention.
Matthew. Earlier I mentioned no standing, right? There is one situation in which you're allowed to stand in these matches. That's when you're attempting to pass guard. Okay. So in this case here, Kevin stands up to try to pass John's guard. You do have to be careful though, because you'll get a penalty if the referee, if you stand guard and then just back away and let go of his pant legs and then try to run around. Okay, that's a penalty right there. Okay. If you're going to stand to pass guard, you have to make sure the referee thinks you're engaged with your opponent. So a good way to do that is to maintain grip. Yes. Yes, good. That would be the best way to demonstrate that you're engaged in the process of passing the guard. So Kevin stands as referee. I'm fine with what's going on here because he's got 2 strong grips on John's legs. Now Kevin passes, and he takes 2 points for the pass, right? But we already know that. Now John sweeps. So how do we define a sweep? What is a sweep? Like, we kind of know some sweeps. Good. 2 points for John. He sweeps. But how do we do what is a sweep? Like, in a very general sense.
Just under your arm.
So that's a specific type of sweep, right?
What's the end result?
So you are in a guard and you don't want to be there, so then you flip around to that.
Right. So basically, anything where a person goes from a bottom position to being on top, into a top position, technically will be considered a sweep. So, unless you're rolling over into another guard. Okay. So, if you invert the position, but you go from mount. Okay, now Kevin, boom. This is not a sweep because why? He's still in a guard position, right? Okay. Sweep. Good, like a pendulum sweep. Boom. Why is that a sweep? Because he inverted the position into a top position where he had control. He was not in Kevin's guard. Makes sense? Does everybody understand the difference there? Okay, good.
How long are you like going for?
4 minutes. Yeah, 4 minutes now. So it's not very long. In any case, if you can accomplish a sweep, you'll get your 2 points. Turnover. Okay. Somebody on their stomach. Okay, turnover is something that happens in judo where maybe you get a person on their stomach or in like a turtle position is also the same thing. But John is going to, he's got a, what do we call this position here?
Back mount.
Oh, back mount, good. John's got a back mount and he works to turn Kevin over. Boom. Okay, so he just successfully rolled Kevin from his stomach onto the back. 2 points. Okay, submission control, no tap. If you have, you know what, I won't even talk about that. You're not even supposed to be. So that just, okay, so that covers the spectrum of points.
No, it's good, like, it's that your market,
Okay.
like, so.
Okay, so talking about points, how do we win? Let's put it all together into win conditions. How do you win a match then?
Don't you like get the higher points?
Yeah, so the time expires, so you have a 4-minute match. The time expires, nobody got informed, so whoever has the high score wins. So you guys both lost. One person got 4 points, another person got 8, and the person with 8 points wins. Makes sense? What's another way we can win?
The only thing that's holding you in place, the log is over here. I really want to flip the corner.
Sure. And how does the scoring work with that?
Be crushing.
Okay, so if you're in a 4-minute match,
2 or 3 different.
right out of the gate, you get a hold down, you pin them for 10 seconds, you get a, what do you call it? Guys,
You gotta make sure so you keep
Lazare for 10 points, good. They reset. Fight again, right out of the gate again, you get another hold down. Okay, or now you got 10 points for that, and they call it an involved, right? Instant win, right? So that's another way we can win is that you, before the 4 minutes runs out, you get 2 10-point pins for 20 points. Match stops right there. You get 20 points. You win. Makes sense?
Wait, what if you both have 20 points?
That is not going to happen. Somebody has to get 20 points before the other person. The first person to get 20 points in 1 minute will just win. There's no way for both people to get 20 points at the exact same time. Does that make sense? Okay. Another way to I'm sorry. Right. So you would get 2 points for escaping the pin before the time expires, right? And then if you successfully transition to practical, then you would get another 2 points for taking that position. Does that make sense? Did everybody hear John's question? Okay, his question was, what happens if I escape a pin, in this case side control? Okay, so Kevin's got side control, he's pinned, John's pinned. But John, before the 10 seconds runs out, John escapes and then takes back control position. How many points?
Oh, 4.
4. Why?
Because he escaped and.
Yes, good. So there's 2 point scoring criteria that are not there, right? Okay. One last way to win is if your opponent gets disqualified. So in judo matches, just like in BJJ, you can get penalized for doing different things. The biggest, pretty much the only way to get a penalty in a Newaza match is for stalling. That's going to be the most common way to get what they call a shido, okay? Is if you're stalling. It's called being non-combative. So look at Kevin's kind of like, he's refusing to take grips, and also he's just pushing John away. If he does this for, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, the referee is going to say, mate, and he's going to point at Kevin, and he's going to make a little hand signal, and he's going to point at Kevin, and he's going to say shido. Okay, so if you follow soccer, it's kind of like getting a yellow card. Okay, you get. Okay, so you get. It's like a warning, right? It's like you just got a penalty. On your 3rd penalty, you'll be disqualified. Okay, so it's like getting a red card. It's immediate disqualification. So on that 3rd strike, you're out.
Wait, isn't there a way to get a penalty swearing?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I don't know. It's not specifically in the rule sets, but if you were to demonstrate like just disrespect and poor sportsmanship in the match, yeah, you could probably get kind of penalized for that. Yes. Oh, okay, there you go. You'll be wrestling in your own gym then. Home field advantage. Okay, so what's another way to jump all through? What do you think? There's a good way to jump through all of those penalties to immediate disqualification, and what is that? Just as a reminder. What's a good way to just get yourself disqualified? No. Immediate disqualification. What's that? Yes, submission. Oh, John, look at John. A standing guillotine. Oh, that's not good. That's disqualified. You're out. Game over. Kevin wins. Live on. Okay. What's that, sir? No, all your matches for the day are done. Yeah, they call that, in judo it's called hansokumake, which is disqualification. That's right, you're done. Let's look at a couple of situations though too that are kind of tricky. So Kevin attempts to pull guard on me. Okay, he gets a grip. Okay, but I break his grips and then I back away. That's a penalty because I'm being non-combative. Okay. So if he takes grips on me and attempts to pull guard, I need to defend myself from his attack. Okay, I can't just break his grips and then back away from him. Okay, that's called being non-combative. That's a Shido for me. Just trying to think here too. I think it's pretty obvious. Like if you're just not engaging, you're just not fighting, you're gonna get penalties. Make sense? Okay.
What if you don't engage in the whole game?
You would just keep getting penalties for each incident, and that when you get to your third one, you just be disqualified. They would just kick you out. It'll look pretty much exactly just like this. It might be a bit smaller. This fighting surface, if you like trace out the red all the way around, this is like a standard space for like a stand-up judo contest. But especially in kids Newaza, sometimes they shrink the fighting surface by like 1 tatami width all the way around, just to make space. And because you guys are smaller, you don't take up as much room doing Newaza. I have no idea. No idea. We'll see. Probably the big one.
Last year, I was watching that and they went short on
120? I don't know how that's possible. But yeah, I'm not sure the context. Yeah, or maybe like cumulative points like throughout the day. Like not in one match, but like throughout the whole day. Yeah, well, so somebody, yeah, they had lots of matches and they were scoring lots of points, sure. All right. Yeah, let's have a look here. I just want to make sure we got like this 10 minutes. Let's just run through some hold downs here. Can I get 2 volunteers? Girl on the end, I can't remember her name here. Ava and Renee. So come out here, show me a hold down. One of you guys. Somebody go first. Okay, Renee's on her back. Show me a hold down and we'll talk about stuff. Don't think about it too hard. Let's just see. Okay, why is this a hold down? Guys, why is this a hold down? Tell me. shoulders are against the mat is what's important here as well. Her back and shoulders are on the mat. And
Delina, down.
she's got control here, okay? Can you just take them out, like, let's sit upright without your hands. Okay, technically this is a pin, okay? Only as long as Renee is on her shoulders and back here. Renee, yes, but, oh, is this a pin now?
No.
Right, why not? Right, so get back on your back, please. Okay, I'm the referee. Otsbaikomi. Timer starts. Renee, boom. Ah, Kokata. Timer stops. Okay, just stay on your side there and just get across your hips there once again. Boom. Okay, Renee gets what? 2 points. 2 points just for escaping the hold down. Okay, get back on your back. Okay, so what was, I'm sorry, what's your name? Ava. What was Ava's mistake? Can you guys just rotate here a bit more so these guys can see? There we go. What was Ava's mistake the first time around? So she takes him out, and the timer starts, but what was her mistake here? She didn't really do enough to take control of her opponent's shoulders here. She left Renee too much space to get off her back. So, if you're going to take a mount type hold down here, you need to do more than just sit on their stomach. You need to try to take control of their shoulders. Okay, so, Kevin, come on up here. Lay down. Or sit down. Or don't sit down. So yeah, just sit on your back here. I'm going to show you guys just a slight difference here in the way that you do this. Okay, I've got this mount position, but what I'm going to do is I'm also going to either try to underhook one arm and his head here and apply pressure to the shoulder. Okay, that's just one way to do it. Another way you can do it is by dragging the arm across the face and using the side of your neck and your head to trap his arm there. Okay, and same thing, I can just hold on behind his shoulder here. Again, I'm applying pressure to his shoulders. Now you have to be careful with this grip. This is a standard judo pin position, but the referee's going to be watching. If you take this and start easing it on as a submission, then the referee may decide to disqualify you for that, right? But as long as you're holding this in a way that isn't suffocating or otherwise strangling your opponent, you can use this as a control. Yes. To bring his elbow out, go ahead. What? Try to get your elbow to the mat. All right, that's good. So that's at least 10 seconds, right? So that's a pretty tight grip, right? Again, from a side control position, we can use the same grip here too. Okay, I just want to point this out too. So if I drag, I can get a situation set up where I drag his arm across his face here. I could do the same thing on this other side here. Okay, underhooking, and then my body could be off to the side here. Okay, I'm going to bring my knee into his hip. I'm going to stretch one leg out here for balance, and then I'm just going to, again, use my head to pin his arm across his face there. But again, I'm not squeezing so tight that I'm trying to strangle him. I'm just, oh yeah.
And then you keep that there with the weight on the chest, so it's hard to breathe. You're trying to bridge.
I would have thought that would be normal. Does that make sense for everybody? Okay. So again, first, this is technically a pin, but I have no real control. So it's very easy for him to break the pin. When you decide to pin somebody, make sure that you're doing the most you can to maintain, to keep control, especially their shoulders. So for example, scarf hold. Okay, let's look at scarf hold. Okay, I come up, I've got kind of a headlock position here. The important thing with scarf hold is to keep Kevin from getting his arm to the mat. If I let Kevin get his arm to the mat, he can turn his body very easily, right? He can get his shoulders and back off the mat. Whereas, if I get a good enough grip and I can keep him pinned like this and keep his arm trapped, he's probably not getting out. As long as one shoulder and his back are in contact with the mat, then you just need the one shoulder, one or both. They're going to walk around, but it's still going to count down. But that's where referee judgment comes in. You got to be careful because you have to have control. If that's happening and you're really just along the side, not really demonstrating control of your opponent, they may call off. So, does that all make sense? Bad. Oh, you know, okay. I think we're about out of time. Does anybody have any last questions? Okay. It'll be fine. All right. Well, there aren't any more questions. That's it. So thank you again for coming to listen. And good luck. Okay.
Thank you, Sensei.
Okay. Good luck, everybody.